A man's liver typically weighs about 1200 to 1500 grams, which is approximately 3 jin. Those with fatty liver can reach up to 2000 grams, which is about 4 jin. As for the stomach, it is quite elastic. For instance, a 1-year-old child's stomach can hold about 300 milliliters. For a 3-year-old, it's about 600 milliliters. For an adult, it's approximately 3000 milliliters, meaning when it's full, it can hold that much. However, when in a state of hunger or on an empty stomach, its capacity is about 300 milliliters, which you can understand as weighing 300 milliliters. How much is 300 milliliters? 300 grams. How much is 300 grams compared to 262? This means our liver weighs 3 jin and our stomach weighs 6 liang. So the weight difference between the two is significant. You can also understand it like this. If I open my arms and hang a 3 jin weight on my right side and a 6 liang weight on my left side, when I'm standing still, I will naturally lean towards the side with the 3 jin weight because it's heavier. This makes it easier to understand. Because the heart is located slightly to the left, this is why the left diaphragm is lower, as the heart occupies its space. Since there is no heart on the right side, the right diaphragm can rise higher. The reason the right diaphragm is higher than the left is due to this. Therefore, the entire lung structure is such that the left lung has 2 lobes and the right lung has 3 lobes, with the heart positioned on the left side. Because the liver on the right side is relatively heavy, under normal circumstances, if your parents are not left-handed, and if a child learns to walk normally, then for the vast majority of children, from birth to adulthood, due to the different weights of their internal organs, most people's center of gravity is shifted to the right. Because the right side is generally heavier. Additionally, your right diaphragm is higher than your left diaphragm, so the right diaphragm is also stronger. Since your center of gravity is on this side, there is a downward force from above and the ground provides support from below, creating an upward reactive force. Therefore, in most cases, our usual center of gravity is on the right side. Since the weight is on the right side, you will notice that if you've attended any PR classes, they will show you things like this. You will find that throughout thousands of years, many famous sculptures depict people with their center of gravity on the right side. Do you know who recognized this? David Wright. You will notice that they all have a lower right shoulder and a higher left shoulder, indicating their center of gravity is on the right side. Normally, this is the case. So many people find this position more comfortable and natural. Since this side is heavier, most people are right-handed. Because your center of gravity is on this side, you can definitely exert more force here. Now, having said this, many students might say, since I am naturally like this, why should I go against nature? Why should I go against the natural structure of my body? Why should I shift my center of gravity from the right to the left? Because as humans, we are not always supported by both feet. We need to constantly shift between using both feet and one foot, as we need to walk and run. When you consistently place your center of gravity on the right side, won't there be a significant difference in strength between your left and right legs? And won't the weight bearing on your joints on both sides be different? In such a situation, your body, due to having its center of gravity stuck on one side for a long time, will therefore the pressure on the joints on one side becomes greater, and the pressure on the internal organs on one side will also be greater. From the perspective of the internal organs, this can affect their health, and from the perspective of the joints, it can affect the lifespan of the joints on one side. Therefore, in such a situation, I need to constantly adjust. Otherwise, when I'm walking, my right foot will always be more stable when supporting, and my left foot won't be able to hold up, which means I won't be able to walk or run properly. Therefore, since each of us has different innate structures, we must strive throughout our lives to make both sides relatively more balanced. We have to work lifelong to adjust them to be more balanced. Otherwise, your problems will appear earlier than others. So, in other words, each of us actually needs to exercise and do some targeted exercises